Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're creating a simple yet beautiful brunch for two, perfect for any occasion. First on the menu are these mushroom and egg galettes. They're such a perfect combination of savory flavors, and I love how simple yet impressive they are. We will begin by making the most flaky homemade pie dough. In a food processor, combine 2.5 cups of flour, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and half a teaspoon of salt. Pulse it a few times until the dry ingredients are evenly mixed. Now dice the cold butter into small cubes and place it in the fridge for a few minutes before adding it to the food processor. Gradually add the butter to the flour mixture and pulse a few times until the mixture resembles coarse crumbs. Now slowly add 6 tablespoons of ice water, pulsing or mixing until the dough just begins to come together. Be cautious not to add too much water, as this will make the dough sticky and difficult to roll. Once the dough starts to form a ball, stop mixing. Divide the dough into 2 portions and wrap each in plastic wrap. Flatten each portion into a disc shape and refrigerate for at least 30 minutes to allow the dough to firm up. This dough can now be used for any pie recipe. It's a great base for both sweet and savory pies, ensuring a flaky, tender crust every time. Next, prepare the mushroom filling. Dice 2 shallots, and if you have any tips for preventing tears, please share them in the comments. Slice 1 pound of mushrooms, keeping in mind they will shrink considerably as they cook. In a hot skillet, heat 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil, then add the shallots and the mushrooms. Cook over medium heat, stirring constantly until the mushrooms are golden brown and the shallots are translucent. Then season with salt, pepper, and fresh thyme. Add 2 to 3 minced garlic cloves, tossing everything to combine for roughly 30 more seconds. Set the mixture aside to cool at room temperature. Now it's the perfect timing to preheat your oven to 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Our pie dough has chilled and you can cut it into 4 portions. Lightly flour your work surface and roll each portion into an 8 to 10 inch circle. In the center, spread roughly a 1/3 cup of shredded Gruyere cheese, leaving about 2 inches around the edges. Top with your cooled mushroom mixture, then fold the dough over the filling, pinching the edges as you go to form a rustic galette. Repeat the process with the remaining dough. Place the galettes on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper, then brush the dough with an egg wash and lightly sprinkle with salt crystals. Once the galettes are golden, remove them from the oven and using a spoon or a knife, carefully make a well in the center of each galette and add the egg. If the eggs are too large, remove a little of the egg white so they can fit better. Return the galettes to the oven and bake for another 5 minutes or so, or until the egg is set. Now let's make these delightful asparagus puff pastry bundles. This recipe moves fast, so make sure to preheat the oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. Drizzle the asparagus with olive oil and season with salt and pepper to taste. Roll out the puff pastry on a floured surface, brushing off any excess flour. Using a pizza cutter or a knife, slice the pastry into 6 squares. Brush the tips and bases of the pastry squares with egg wash. To assemble the bundles, place a slice of prosciutto in the center of each square. You can also use ham, or I had some turkey bacon that we absolutely love. Arrange the asparagus in the middle, positioning it in a diamond shape so the corners meet when wrapped. Top with 1 to 2 tablespoons of Gruyere cheese and fold the corners over the asparagus and the cheese, pressing the edges together to seal each bundle. Repeat this process with the remaining pastry squares. Place the bundles on a prepared baking sheet, then brush the tops with egg wash and lightly sprinkle with crystal salt. Bake for 20 to 25 minutes or until the pastry is golden and flaky. Next on the menu are these red velvet waffles. Red velvet marble waffles are a beautiful and delicious way to start your day, combining the rich taste of red velvet with classic waffle batter. In a large bowl, whisk together 1 egg with a 1/3 cup of sugar, a pinch of salt, and the fragrant essence of vanilla extract. Add in a cup of all-purpose flour, followed by a tablespoon of baking powder. And slowly pour in a 1/3 cup of milk, stirring gently to avoid any lumps. Finally, mix in a 1/4 cup of cooled melted butter and combine everything, ensuring the batter remains light and airy. Overmixing would steal its delicate fluffiness, so try to avoid it. Now set aside about 2 cups of the batter into a separate bowl, and into it add 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder and 2 tablespoons of red velvet food coloring, just enough to create the perfect shade of red. Stir, adjusting the red hue until it's just as rich as the love you're sharing. Preheat your waffle maker and add a delicate touch of butter. Then pour the batter alternating the classic and the red velvet. As they cook, the batter will crisp to a golden perfection. Once done, serve these waffles warm with a handful of fresh, juicy berries if you so desire. You could even offer them with a touch of honey or your favorite jam. I find that homemade blueberry jam adds the most delightful sweetness. These waffles are perfect for special moments or whenever you want to surprise someone with a stunning breakfast. At the last moment, I added a few appetizers to the table. Fresh, crisp cucumbers paired with cubes of Bulgarian farmer's cheese, a savory delight. My fridge is stocked with treasures from a visit to the European market, so the table will be brimming with flavors. The dragon fruits are ripe, juicy, and sweet, nature's own indulgence. I've made a quick lemonade infused with berries, freshly squeezed orange juice, which can be prepared ahead of time, but served chilled with ice for an instant refreshment. And of course, no table is complete without flowers. They are the soul of any gathering. Today I'm using small dessert bowls to hold a beautiful arrangement. I created a grid inside each bowl with simple tape, a clever trick to keep the flowers in place and their beauty structured. Each stem is carefully cut diagonally, and a splash of floral powder or a drop of bleach will keep them vibrant for longer. The last touch is to set the table with simple elegance. I've chosen these lovely floral paper mats, a perfect mix of beauty and practicality, as they save space while adding a touch of nature. To complement them, a soft flowing table runner cascades across the surface, with delicate dishes placed thoughtfully. If you enjoyed today's video, give me a thumbs up and consider subscribing before you go. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.